Okay, so right now I'm going to show you how to draw the different types of clay pots and vessels that we're going to be doing once we go back to school. So we want to learn to draw three-dimensionally because that way we can actually see the full shape of whatever type of vessel or container you want to make. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to divide this paper into 8 because there's going to be 8. There's going to be 4 practice ones that we do together, and then you're going to do 4 on your own. You'll be able to create different types of ideas that you want to do. So first thing you're going to do is just draw a line down the middle. Again, it does not have to be perfect. I'm just drawing a quick line that separates it down the middle vertically. Then we're going to turn it horizontally. I'm going to draw another line that's kind of in the middle. Eyeballing it is fine. Okay, I'm going to draw another one here. And another one here. Okay, and remember, if I'm going too fast for you, you can pause the video, right? And do the step and then catch up, okay? So we're gonna also now label these 1 through 8. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and then number 8. Woohoo! All right, so the first one we're going to do is a bowl. So you'll want to label these two, bowl. And then we're going to do a mug. Okay, then we're going to do a vase. And then a box. With lid. With lid. Woo, okay. Ooh, underline the width, there we go. So, you're not gonna make all of these out of clay, you will choose one, okay? And then you can customize it to make it more your own style and you'll get to choose. And now it does go up in intensity, so it goes from easiest, kind of easy, medium, hard, okay? So you'll get to choose where you're at, skill-wise. Okay, so for a bowl, we start by drawing a U, okay? Just kind of a wide U. Use sketch lines. Remember flicking your pencil kind of forward to draw a nice little sketch line, okay? Then we're gonna put a line over the top. This line's gonna get erased. All it's doing is helping us keep the top part here symmetrical. So we're gonna now draw the space from above. Now, I'm looking for one of my examples here. I have them somewhere. Here we go. So we are going to be drawing this bowl so that we're like looking into it, okay? So, oh, my bird just flew to my head. Hello. We're going to draw a curve line down like that, and then up on top. We're going to draw that same line, but reversed, right? So it looks like a football, and it's symmetrical on the top and the bottom. Then we erase that middle line. My dogs are playing, so sorry if you hear some noise. It's just the nature of living in my house. Okay, then we're gonna need to give this bowl a rim so that we can tell that this bowl has some thickness. So we're just adding a line or another kind of football shape within the football shape just to make it look like it has some thickness. And then every bowl or every vessel has some kind of foot that helps it sit flat. If the bowl's bottom is curved, then we need to add some sort of like ribbon or ring of clay at the bottom to help it sit flat. So what I like to do is just draw 2 little lines like that and then a curved bottom line just to show that I've added like a pedestal or a foot underneath. That's what we call the foot. I know it's kind of funny, but that's what it's called. I know it sounds like my dogs are fighting, but that's how they play. So for a mug, it's a little different. We make this with a slab of clay, meaning like a flat ribbon of clay that we cut and shape into a cylinder. Okay, so you are gonna be drawing a cylinder here. So you've got 2 parallel lines and then a box. So you need to make it into a box. And we're gonna be erasing these 2 top lines again, okay? Now, we do the same thing we do with the bowl. We add a curve to the underside and the above, okay? And then underneath, we need to do this exact same curve, okay? So I'm looking at the curve I drew above and trying to make it look similar, just like that. Then I erase the line. My dogs sound like monkeys. Ugh. There we go, erase the line. Fix up any spots that got erased. There we go. And then we add the ring around the middle. Now right now it's just looking like a cup. In order to make it a mug, we have to give it a handle. Okay, now the handle for a mug starts below the rim, or we also call this the lip. It starts below and then ends before it hits the bottom of the mug. So, and it looks like a half heart shape. Now you can make the handle in any shape you want. There's tons of different variations in shapes and designs. You can do like a braided handle, a twisted handle, any kind of handle. It really doesn't matter. But we want to make sure we give it some thickness just to show that it has some thickness, right? So there's a mug. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. Now a vase, we started out the same way we do with a bowl, but we want to go lower because a vase is taller, has a neck. Okay, so we're going to start with just a bowl shape. Okay. Here we go. Start with the bowl. Then from here, we need to first draw a line from the bottom going up because vases are taller and we want to make sure that the whole space here is going to be symmetrical on both sides. So this line helps us, okay? Just like we would do the line across to keep both top and bottom of the opening symmetrical. It's the same thing here, okay? So now we're gonna bring in the line. It's kind of like a C, like two C shapes, okay? And we just wanna make sure that the curve, oh, my bird's trying to get my eraser. Nope, and she got it. That's not for you, you weirdo. Okay, gonna finish doing that. And you can have the top part flare out as much or as little as you want. Just make sure that the curve comes in and meets kind of in around the same place. And then we draw a line up at the top, just like we did for the mug and the bowl. My bird just can't help herself. She's trying to pull out the buttons on my shirt now. So now we do a curve for the top here, top and bottom. So we have the opening, we erase the interior, we erase the vertical line down the middle, and we add thickness to the inside of the rim to show that the vase has thickness, okay? Now, vases have to have a foot. Mugs do not because they're already flat, right, at the base. You could add a foot if you wanted to, but vases have to because it would rock and tip if it didn't have one. So for vases, I like to add a fancy kind of foot, so one that would maybe flare out a little or just something. So I just kind of flare it out a bit. And then I always make sure that the bottom curved part here curves at the same kind of angle as the bottom of the vase, just like how I had that one curved for the bowl. Okay, so that's a vase. Now, last one here, the box with the lid. You're gonna be drawing a cube, okay? So we start out with a square, just like we did with the mug. My bird will not stop. I know, birdie, you can't do that. Starting with the box. Okay. Then, depending on how you draw a cube, you could just start with drawing 3 little lines going all the same direction from the corners. Or you could do this way. One of my students actually reminded me that this is a way you could do cubes as well. I like to utilize things that my students have told me. I love when I learn from my students. That makes it very exciting for me. So you can draw another square like this right next to it. Okay. What you want to make sure though is that it's kind of that same distance away and that square is the same size as the first one. Then you just draw lines connecting to the corners. Now you don't have to draw a line to this one because the box isn't see-through. We're going to be erasing. right here. And then right in there. Okay. Well, now y'all get to see my bird again. She thinks she's helping me. You're not, Nova. You need to stay on my shoulder. No, stay on my shoulder. She cannot help herself. She really, really, really wants to help. So there's the box. And we need to then add the rim. Again, just like before. No, Nova, honey, you're going to have to go back to your cage if you can't stay on my shoulder. Here we go. Adding the rim again to show thickness. Then now with the lid, you can either draw it above the box or below. We're not going to actually draw it on the box. We're going to draw it as a separate piece. So I'm going to draw the lid kind of down here. We just want it to be the same shape there as what we're seeing from the top of the box there. So it's a nice little parallelogram. Give it some thickness. So I'm just going to draw 3 little lines. No, no, don't pick at the paper. Naughty bird. Thank goodness. Add some lines to give it some thickness there. And then we just need to give the lid some kind of handle. So you could do just like a ball, or you could do like an arch for the handle. Just make sure that the handle itself is attached to kind of the middle of the top of that lid, okay? And yeah, that's it. Those are our 4 vessels or containers. The box, again, you could give it some feet if you want to. You could add some circles, or like a half circle there, for underneath the box if you want to give it some little pegs underneath. And that looks nice. You could even add a foot to the mug if you want. But now with these last 4, you need to come up with your own ideas. I want you to go into your student starter slides and look at the examples of the drawn drawn vessels in there if you're having a hard time coming up with ideas. Now you could draw 4 different bowls, you could draw 4 different mugs, 4 different vases, or 4 different boxes. And again, it doesn't have to be a box. You could do like a triangle shape one, you could do a heart shaped box, a star shape, any kind of shape. We're just building these with little slabs. Think about this box deconstructed. We'll be making like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares and attaching them because 5 would be the underside, right? And then 1 more for the top lid. Okay, so 6 squares, and you just attach them together. Oh my goodness, using a score and slip method, and I'll teach that later. So come up with any kind of vessel ideas. I just need you to do 4, okay? When you're done, take a picture of this, put it in your virtual sketchbook, and then yeah, you'll be done. And next class time, we'll be talking about adding designs and patterns to our different vessels. All right, have fun.